from Homemade Emily Jane. Today we're going to talk about which fabric cutting machine is the best. But before I get that far, I want to invite you to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel for lots of quilting and sewing tips and tricks. So the two fabric cutting machines that I personally own and use and love are the Cricut Maker and the AccuQuilt Go. I don't really have one to say that one is the best because they both have different purposes and uses. So in this video, I'm going to teach you the differences between the two and hopefully help you make an informed decision to figure out which one is the best for you. Let's dive in. We'll start off by talking about the Cricut Maker. I actually received this one as a Christmas gift a few years ago and it came in really handy while planning for my wedding. You can cut all sorts of materials with this machine, anything from vinyl to fabric to wood. It's really great if you like a lot of applique and a lot of things that are hard to cut by hand. This machine will cut it for you. The downside of the Cricut Maker is that you can only cut one layer of fabric at a time. That brings me to the AccuQuilt Go. The AccuQuilt cutting system is marvelous. It was specifically designed for quilters like you and me, and you can cut up to 6 layers of fabric at a time on the AccuQuilt Go. Other machines you can cut more, and I'll cover that in a different video where I compare different AccuQuilt machines in the future. The AccuQuilt cutting system is really unique in that you can use all these different dies to create literally thousands of different kinds of blocks. These dies come together in different shapes and patterns, and depending on which AccuQuilt cutting system you order, you'll likely get at least a few patterns included. One of my very favorite AccuQuilt dies is this box set called the 8-inch cube. This 8-inch mix and match cube has all these different dies in it, and when put together, they make literally thousands of different kinds of quilt blocks. It's amazing. Check out my string quilt block tutorial to see how I used this 8-inch cube and its companion angle set to make a string quilt block. Let's talk about the design work involved with the Cricut Maker compared to the AccuQuilt Go. Cricut Maker has a software program called Cricut Design Space where you can create your shapes, scale them, really do some incredibly unique things. You use SVG files, which means that the background is removed and then you can do a cut image onto fabric and then from there applique it onto a quilt. For AccuQuilt, the design process is completely different. For AccuQuilt, you purchase dies separately. The way AccuQuilt works is that they have preset dies and shapes that are very common for quilters. Squares, rectangles, strips, triangles, even some curved piecing too, like the drunkard's path and the wedding ring quilt. One of my favorite things to make with the mix and match cubes with AccuQuilt is a sampler quilt, like this 12 block baby quilt. I've also made lots of quilts featuring half square triangles, as those are one of my favorite quilt blocks, and you can learn more about that on my blog in the description below. Now you'll have to tell me, do you have a fabric cutting machine, and if so, what do you love about it? Drop a comment below and tell me all about your fabric cutting machine or the one that's on your wish list. As a little synopsis, if you plan on cutting out lots of complex shapes for applique, then the Cricut Maker is definitely the best machine for you. If you want to use a fabric cutting machine to cut out the majority of your pieces for a quilt, then AccuQuilt is definitely the one for you. I hope this little video helped you better understand which fabric cutting machine is the best for you. Please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you feel like shopping, go ahead and shop through my affiliate links posted in the description below, as that is a huge support to me and I really appreciate it. Check out homemadeemilyjane.com for lots more quilting tips, tricks, and lots of AccuQuilt tutorials as well.